Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Joe Truemark and I am the Halo Enthusiast. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about how to play Mythic Warzone Firefight. First off, I just want to clarify that the mode is not for the faint of heart. It is not so easily farmed as Heroic and Legendary Firefight. In fact, you could argue that it is a completely unfair and punishing mode, but then it is supposed to be. As 343 always say, we don't expect you to survive. So, why is the mode so punishing? Well, because after the first round your shield does not recharge unless you melee your enemies, and unfortunately the enemies in Halo 5 melee you back extremely quickly, usually resulting in death. So the trade-off, however, is that if you manage to beat the final round, it can make for some particularly large rec payouts. With boosts, the largest I have achieved is about 10k, but I have been told higher is possible. Now, I don't recommend you play this mode until you have unlocked some of the ultra-rare weapons or vehicle certifications. I think you could probably play this mode with rare items at a push, but to make it more comfortable, I would recommend ultra-rare as a solid list of requisitions to beat this mode. Occasionally, when I wanted to have some fun, I would bust out the legendary gear, but unless you have lots of them, and if you just want to farm this mode for recs, then I would recommend just sticking with the ultra rare cards or below. Tanks and ghosts are also a must to play this mode successfully. If you don't have many of these, I recommend grinding out the easier modes to get some, then jump back here at the weekend when you're ready. I know it sounds a bit ridiculous, but also having common recs for the beginning modes is particularly useful. The laser carbine, for example, is excellent at level 2, and now with the recent buff it is a bit more stable again. Also, overshield cards are going to be your new best friends, so make sure that you get to use some of those. These are useful for getting you out of tricky situations when your shields are gone. So, to recap, I will be using all recs except legendary to beat this mode. Vehicles are certainly a go here. Maybe in future videos I will try to beat the mode with less access to recs, but I don't recommend this to play the mode comfortably. So for this video I will be playing on Escape from A.R.C. So without further ado, let's press on to the good stuff. Okay, here we go. So we're just about to drop in the Pelicans. I always the last on these leaderboards when I first start. It's my little pet peeve. But okay, so we're jumping out of the Pelican, running to the rec station. So I'm looking to get my first rec loadout rec. I'm gonna go with so this is the overview. Forgot about that. So this is the overview. You can see that loads of crawlers are coming out in the tunnels. You've got soldiers there as well. So they are the soldiers actually provide more of an annoyance than the crawlers. But yeah, so I picked out an AR, so I've got an AR with a sight. That is so I can just get a bit more accuracy. Going with the stock AR is not amazing. Anything with a sight, just go for. And obviously stick with the pistol because the pistol is just amazing. Moving on to the tunnel to take out those crawlers. On this mode, you've got to try and get cover as much as you can, or just take advantage of teammates. If teammates are there, you need to just be there to mop up the kills, because if you try and take enemies alone on this mode, then you're probably going to end up dying quite a lot. I would say actually that teamwork is extremely important in this game, because Mythic Firefight especially, because if you can't always expect to win this mode if you don't necessarily have the right team. You could play perfect, you could do amazing, but if you haven't got the right team with you and you're not all gelling together and everyone's getting their recs out, then you're not going to win. But that still doesn't mean that you can't play this mode and get high and still beat it, still get a good amount of rec points. So it is worth playing, I would say. but in terms of beating it, don't expect to beat it every time, even if you pull out all of your best stuff, because sometimes it's just not possible unless you've got the right team with you, which goes with my other advice, which is lag, that's not so good, which goes with my other advice, which is basically if you don't have the necessary recs to play this mode, then you're going to be a hindrance to your teammates rather than a help. So if sometimes I see really low people playing this mode, and I think it's great. I'm not saying that you need to I'm not telling you how to play it, what you should be doing, but it's just sort of like advice so that you can play it better and enjoy it more, and I think people enjoy it more when there's a possibility of being able to beat it, and I think that when you have teammates that aren't able to beat it, they would be better off playing maybe the lower modes so they can get their recs up. But that's not to say that, if you get maybe 3 or 4 good players with good amount of recs, you could probably carry 4 players that don't have the same amount of recs or higher levels. So I mean, it kind of swings and roundabouts, but yeah, I mean, it's just my experience, and it's just trying to sort of make it less frustrating for everyone involved. But anyway, so that's enough about that for the moment. So just give me a commentary there. I pulled out a carbine level 2 just so I can get that accuracy, so that because most of these enemies have got either just suppressors or bolt shots, so it's giving you an edge, and it's the best thing outside of a battle rifle, so it's definitely worth pulling out, and it's definitely worth having loads of those. So without a doubt, I would say that the carbine is one of the better common recs that you can pull. So that's an illustration there. So I managed to get top of the board, 30 kills, and I would put that down to having the carbine and also going with the pistol, which was the ultra rare pistol with the extra ammo. It's just so good. So I'm pulling a ghost here. So the thing to be mindful about this round on this level is protect the Forerunner core. So just going to show you a little bit of an overview of the Forerunner core here. So you can see that I managed to get at the back there with a ghost, but literally just everything rushes you. Crawlers, soldiers, those soldiers with the splinter turrets, they just plow into this area, and if you don't have a ghost, if you don't rec up to level 3 and get a ghost straight away almost, then you're going to find this this particular round really, really difficult. You can see that I'm the only person there in the ghost actually fending it off, and if I wasn't there, then chances are the core would have been destroyed literally straight away. So you have to try and make sure that you rec up to level 3 high when you finish the first round, because the thing is it's quite highly likely it's going to be this round, because this is one of the most toughest rounds on this level, and if you're not able to get a ghost, then I would recommend that you just try and get the best recs that you can. So pull some power weapons like bolt shots and a pistol, and just try and get to the back so that everyone can try and support everyone else when you get there. Unfortunately, your shields aren't going to recharge, but you will be able to get into melee range. Like you can see those soldiers, I'm trying to run them over and doing a poor job of it, but if you manage to get into melee range and you melee them, then your shield will go up, and if there's more people at the back of that, then there's more of a possibility that that's going to happen and you're going to survive it. So that would be my top tip there. But as you can see, I'm just going solo here with the ghost. I pulled just a normal ghost, and it was a bit of a mistake really. I wanted to pull out the sword ghost, the red one, but I've got a habit of trying to conserve all of my best stuff, because I would consider those good for regular Warzone play, even though I don't really play it that much anymore. But I would rather pull a bigger one. It's just I pulled this one out of instinct, and it didn't work out too bad, to be fair, because doesn't seem to be taking much damage, and I'm able to recharge my health, which is pretty good. So and now all my teammates just come in to back me up, so that's not bad. And the core is still pretty high in health, so that's good news. So it looks like I'm just getting a little hot, getting a little much. My ghost is now on fire, which isn't good. It's just firing away. Die, please die, please die. Okay, so we're done. We're done. And I'm aware that the ghost is a bit of a death trap at the moment. More lag on this game as well. That's not good. I'm not sure where I'm getting the lag from. Anyway, so I'm boosting back to the garage because I'm not sure what round we've got now. So I'm just making sure that I'm at a rec station and I've got access to some good things. So yeah, so you see I'm going with the common rec with the extra ammo because I like having extra ammo because obviously the enemies on this mode is quite hard to kill. So Tankmaster Rock. Okay, so Whiplash, Arclight, pull an Arclight, and I forgot to put on the patrol case, which increases your ammo. Really good rec on the armor mod that. So this is just a little bit of an overview to show you where the enemies are. So there are a couple of Banshees that come in, but I think with those have been destroyed. You can see the debris there, but Tankmaster Rock basically hides at the back there, and he's got his escort of ghosts and also jackals. So I think there was a gold elite down there as well, but there are 2 waves of Banshees, so if you destroy that first wave, if you wait for a little bit longer, there will be another wave. So we're just going to plug away at these. I got Arclight out particularly to deal with the Banshees, but it looks like somebody else has got a rocket launcher and taking care of those, so we can save some much needed ammo. So ironically as well, Tankmaster Rock is not that hard. His health is quite low actually on this, but his plasma mortar, which is really powerful, that if you don't constantly move, then he's going to get you. So you can see that shot took a massive chunk off of Tankmaster Rock, and he's almost out for the count, and the round's not even a few seconds in. So I'm just trying to wait for the right shot, and he's not coming out, so just take out these enemies here for a bit. But now I can see the Banshees coming in, so I know I've got a limited time. So there we go. So I was quite happy that I managed to kill him in that time. So there we go, a little close up of that, just in case you missed it. Yeah, so out for the count. That was a good shot, if I do say so myself. So right, back at the garage now, so I'm waiting for round 4, and just okay, so it is defend the garage. So this is another really tough round for this game. So a little pan out here, so you can see that all the crawlers, there just spawns loads of crawlers and they go into the base, but as this progresses it gets more and more enemies and they just fill up the base. The garage actually is quite big in comparison to the open area of the map. It's almost as if it's overbearing almost. Well, there's my Banshee going in. So yeah, so what I figured out on this round is to pull out a Banshee. Now I pull out Ultra Banshee because I know how hard this round is, but the tendency you've got on this round is that players don't, if they go in the base, they usually die because they stay at the bottom. The trick to this is to, if you're going to go in on foot, go in at the top. The top is the place to hold, and you need as many people in there as possible. But the reason why I got the Banshee is because I know I can drop in with the Banshee and I can hold the base, because people, you know, they do spawn tanks and they do spawn things outside, but the problem with that is that nobody is in the base to hold it. So unfortunately it usually falls down to me to do that. So that's why I've decided to pull the Ultra Banshee. Now if I didn't pull the Ultra Banshee and I went with something a bit lower, chances are I probably would have died a lot quicker, because the Ultra Banshee just has so much so much health, so much armor, that it's pretty much a superior flying vehicle. I mean, like, I can take on Phaetons with this thing and come out on top, and it's just yeah, it's just a great wreck. So definitely stock these up and use them for Warzone, Mythic Warzone Firefight, because they do come into their own. And you can see I'm just ploughing through these enemies here, just decimating them at the moment, and that's really good. So you know, it's just a matter of just trying to keep the defending inside while everyone else tries to kill everything else on the outside. You could see a couple of my mates were players, from people in the game. They've come up to the top level, but the problem with that as well is that they're running around in the middle, which makes me feel a bit uneasy because I don't want to run them over or betray them by accident. But I think unfortunately there's not really much else that they can do at the moment other than just trying to avoid me. But that's pretty good. I'm taking out all the knights and all these things. It's just as you can see, it's starting to get more and more progressive, and I'm in here, so I'm just recharging my shields at the moment, but I'm just trying to do my best to try and get rid of these things. And although I saw my teammates earlier, they've obviously died or they're not here anymore, and it's just getting, you can see it's just getting worse. I mean, the Banshee is good because it provides some also as well, because your shields don't recharge, it's good to have a rechargeable shield on that thing. But I'm trying to recharge my shield, but I'm just getting shot from all angles. I made a desperate attempt to get out. I didn't make it. So that's the first death of the game. So now I'm out for 14 seconds, I think it is. I'm trying to get back in there because you can see that the defense is just going down and down and down on the garage, and I'm worried that we're going to lose it because somebody else might. I've not seen anyone else go into the base, so I'm just trying to take out these Phaetons now and trying to just get in there as quickly as I can. And we managed to pass the round, which is amazing. I think it was so close for us not doing that. I was surprised we did it. I thought I was going to lose it then, but wow. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Okay, so top of the board. I'm not entirely sure how many kills I've got at this point, but I think it's probably quite a lot. We'll put that down to the Ultra Banshee. So now we've got the final round. So eliminate all Promethean bosses. So what have we got now? So here we go. So there's going to be soldiers in the base, and you can see just plow into them as soon as they spawn, which is a completely legitimate strategy, I think. And then I'll just leave. And you've got a couple downstairs as well to deal with, but it looks like my co-Spartans are on that, so they're trying to run them over with a ghost. So that's done. Here we go. Yeah, so this is just action replay from my view of how I did it. So I just rammed into them, and there we go, and again, so took out those two pretty quickly. I think it's important to note as well that when you play the final rounds, you want to take out those initial bosses as quickly as you can. So if that means that you pull something just to run them over and then pull something later, then that's fair enough, because you need to get those done as quickly as possible. So here we go. So now we're on the final bosses. So we've got 2 knights and the warden. Now the problem with this particular round is that the warden and the knights can be healed by the watchers, so it's particularly important to pay attention to the watchers, because it is the watchers that are going to cause the issue. I've seen it where we played this round, and everyone's got tanks out and everybody's got a full pelt, and then right at the last minute, a watcher comes in and heals the warden, and he's back up to full health, and then there's no way that you're going to be able to complete that round. So you see, I ditched my Banshee to go with the tank, because I wanted, well, you need a tank, you need to get that damage per second on the bosses, so this was the best thing I thought would be useful for that. And I went for the ultra rare because there are times where I do just pull out the normal tanks, but I think for this one I've not really seen many of the people I'm playing with pull out much in the way of reqs. I know we've got banshees here, but I don't expect those to survive for very long, especially on this round. You do need the heavy duty. I know people they talk down mantises, and they don't really think mantises are useful, but in the right hands I think a mantis can be quite powerful, especially if you get him behind the enemies, like the warden for example. He's got a weak point on his back. If you get him round his back with a mantis, you can do some serious damage, and that goes for the knights as well. Once you blow off their little appendages, you can get the mantis, and it can, if you charge up those rockets and fire the rockets right at its those weak points, it just does some massive damage. So it's just sort of on this bit, you can see we've got a mantis out, we've got a couple of banshees, so things aren't looking too bad. Just trying to take those watchers. Got a Hannibal Scorpion coming up behind us. Excuse me, so that's good news. And I'm trying to kind of take in the front here, because I know that because I put Wheelman on, I can take the heat. So it's just a matter of killing these watchers. You see how I'm prioritising those watchers and the enemies. A lot of people just go for the bosses. It's really not recommended. I really don't recommend that you just go for the bosses straight off. You need to take out all those enemies. I mean, they do come out in waves, but eventually they will stop coming. There will come a point where they just stop spawning. So if everybody focused on them first and then moved on to the bosses, you would actually have a lot easier rounds. But for some reason, people think that they need to tackle the bosses straight off, and then they end up going into all the enemies and getting destroyed quite easily. So it's just a matter of just trying to just plug away really now. So my tank is now on fire and things don't look particularly good. The timer is ticking away. We've only got 1 minute and 30 seconds left, and all the enemies are still there. Although it looks like the knights are starting to go, so this knight's coming and we're blasting him. So yep, and a mantis is stomping on him as well, so that's all good. So you can see I'm trying to blow off his little bits now. So now his bits are blown off, this is where the tide begins to turn. You see how much damage I'm doing to him on each shot now. So that's good, we got rid of that one. And other knight is gone as well. So whether they managed to kill him or if he jumped off the edge, I don't know. But the warden now, we can just all focus on the warden. So we've got obviously a couple of tanks, a wraith, a mantis, and I think we've got a Hannibal tank as well, Hannibal Scorpion, which is working the magic as well. So actually we've got quite a lot of armament out on the field right now. So, and the warden's going down. I think we're going to do this. So yeah, just plugging away. Come on, a few more shots, and yep, he is down. Whoa, just looked at my kills there. I think that was in the hundreds there. So yeah, pretty good score as well, 50,000-ish. That's good. So yeah, so we only died once. I think, well, we used a reasonable amount of reqs. I think we used 2 banshees and a tank, all ultra rare. So yeah, what was that? Looks like 143 kills. Wow. We all know who was doing the work in that game. Okay, so yeah, so let's talk about post stats. So we'll just get into that in a minute. Okay, so we're just going to take a quick look at the post carnage report. So it looks like that I made 143 kills, 25 assists and 24 headshots. So obviously the most kills in the game, but not the most assists or the most headshots, which is unusual for me, but yeah, there we go. But I guess I spent a lot of time in vehicles. So I had 12,000, well, almost 13,000 XP and a quite comfortable 5,200-ish rec points. So that's pretty good. I'm quite happy with that performance there. So we only died once, which does help. Dying less will mean that you get the deathless bonus on the rounds, which should propel you into the higher tiers of the leaderboard. So not dying is very important, although it is quite hard to not die on the mythic mode. So what else did we have? So yeah, a pretty good kill death average, pretty good accuracy, 41.5, but not the best, but a whopping 41,900-ish damaged out, so quite a lot of damage, and I put that back down to the the tank and the Banshee. So let's have a look at the other page. So it looks like 49 kills in the Banshee, so just so many. And I also got 1 mythic kill and 4 legendary takedowns, so that is quite good. And then on the last bit, we've got just a progress on how far I am to XP. So I'm only got another roughly about 5 million-ish XP to get to top rank, which I think is very achievable. I'm over halfway there, so hopefully I'll be 152 at some point soon. And for my rec challenge, I had a challenge of 5 million rec points. You can see that I'm got 4 million, almost 4,300,000. So hopefully not too long to go to reach that milestone too, and then I'm just going to go crazy opening packs, which hopefully I'll do another video on. So yeah, I hope you found this video useful, just to show you that you don't have to use your legendary recs to beat the mode. Like I said, I do think ultra rare is probably around the level that you should be aiming to get to before tackling this mode. But at the same time, you might be able to get into the mode and have a few high level players that can do a bit more of the work. So don't be put off playing it. Just know that if you do jump in and you are a little bit under-recced, then it may not go particularly favourably. So that's my top tips. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it, and hopefully see you on the next video. So for now, I just want to say, take it easy, be good to each other, and play Halo. This is the Halo Enthusiast signing off and wishing you well in all things Halo.